Hey guys, and welcome to another book wrap up. So I think that June was a really good reading month for me because I managed to get 9 books read, which is crazy. I mean, I know some of them were like manga, but it's still so much. I wouldn't have expected to get all this done if it wasn't for the year-a-thon that I took part in at the beginning of the month. So even though I didn't get to read everything that I wanted to do for that readathon, I still got quite a bit done, and it definitely helped me make some progress for the rest of the month. So if you want to know the books I managed to finish in that year-a-thon, I've linked the book wrap up specifically for that down below, so you can see the 3 books that I managed to finish in that, and I'm just going to continue talking about what I finished after the year-a-thon, if that makes sense. So one of the books I actually did want to finish for that same readathon, but didn't manage to get finished until a couple of days after that, is George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones, which is the first book in the Song of Ice and Fire series. I gave this 5 stars and I really enjoyed it. I've got a whole book review talk, non-spoiler, just about this, so I've also linked that down below if you want to watch it. Any of the books that I've done reviews on, I will link down below. Even if they haven't aired yet, you've got the link for when they do. So yeah, I won't go into too much detail about what this is, but I'll just explain the synopsis. It's more like a political fantasy following the high families in the 7 Kingdoms, and it's just a really gripping story where you read from many different perspectives and you kind of just get a feel for the world through many people's eyes. I think George R.R. Martin's writing style is really interesting. It's not so complex as something, say, Tolkien would write, but it's still of that quality. So yeah, if you want to hear more about my thoughts for this book, then the link to the video is down below. The next book I read was a reread, and it was the last in the main trilogy of Garth Nix's Old Kingdom series, and it is A Portion. I gave this 4 stars out of 5. So the whole Old Kingdom series follows this really cool magic system. I find it difficult to explain it, especially as I'm holding the last book here, so definitely check out my other reviews as well as the A Portion review, if it's aired, when it's aired, whenever, down below. I've linked all of the ones I've done reviews for, so yeah, check that out. As I said, I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, but I don't think it was as good as the rest of the books. It wasn't that strong a story for the last in that trilogy, if that makes sense, but I did still enjoy it. As I said, it was a reread, and yeah. The next one is something I don't have here. It's Joe's comic, actually. He let me read it quickly, and it is the new wave of Starfire. If you don't know, Starfire is a superhero, mainly known from the Teen Titans. She's the one with the ginger hair and the orange skin and whatever, and yeah, I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was an okay story, but I love Starfire, and getting to know more about her definitely just made me enjoy the story as a whole. It was a fun insight to see her backstory, more because especially in Teen Titans you don't really know too much about her and the world she's from, so it was really cool seeing that in this comic so early on. I think it's going to be quite a strong series. She definitely fleshed out more as a character because, as I said, being part of Teen Titans, you don't really see her much as an individual, so it was really cool to see what her personality is like, and I'm glad to say she's still quite naive to the Earth culture and just that in general. Some of the side characters were very much developed, as much as you would expect from the issue in the first comic, so it was enough progress, but it wasn't so much that they were cramming stuff into just one tiny issue. The illustrations were really great. The only thing really that I can remember not liking is that they didn't name what the island was where all the events were happening, so it would have been nice to have that just so I could understand whereabouts everything was and kind of maybe what accent they would have and stuff like that. But yeah, I gave it 3 stars, quite enjoyable, and if Joe gets any more then I'll just borrow them off of him. As well, if you want to see maybe what I've written in terms of reviews for the books that I've read, because sometimes I write a bit more on my Goodreads. Goodreads is linked down below, so just search in my books and you can see what I've reviewed recently, I guess. So the next 2 books I feel kind of guilty reviewing because I didn't buy them and didn't even take them out the library. I was in WH Smith with Chloe and I ended up reading 2 children's books, but they were so cute and so fun I thought I would add them as recently read. So the first one is The Dinosaur That Pooped the Past by Tom Fletcher and Dougie Poynter. So yep, if you don't recognise the name, they are members of McFly, or McBusted now as I think they go by, and yeah, I was so excited to see that they'd written a children's book because I just love the McFly guys. I like Tom quite a lot. I like his sister, who's on YouTube quite frequently. I think Tom's on YouTube now, but yeah, it's past my is way past my bedtime. Carrie Fletcher, yeah, she's great, she's really cute. And yeah, I just like that they're kind of keeping the book writing in the family, because Carrie's just recently brought out like a biography thing, which I haven't yet read actually. So yeah, back to this book. I thought it was hilarious and really entertaining, definitely something children will enjoy. The story around it was just so cute and just really funny. The illustrations were spot on, they were really pretty, like, or as pretty as you can get for a dinosaur that farts and poops and stuff. Just what makes it even better is the fact that it's McFly, well, some of the band members from McFly that wrote it. It just makes it that much better, and yeah, I gave it 5 stars. The next one I read was I Want My Hat Back by John Classon. It's about a bear who almost gives up looking for his hat, but you know, he finds it and he's very happy when he gets it back. I gave it 4 stars, and I was just so shocked with the humour, because I found it definitely more dry and blunt than what you'd expect to find in a children's book, and that just made it so much better because it was my kind of humour. It definitely appealed to me. I don't know if children will like it as much, maybe, because it is a bit more, like, it's not so obvious in humour, but it's, I don't know, it's got that subtlety that adults reading it will understand and think, oh, that's quite funny. But it's still got that childish twist to it. The characters the bear meets on the way and trying to find his hat obviously didn't get so developed, just because, you know, it's a really young children's book and it's about this bear and his missing hat, so they didn't really have time to, you know, explain all these characters, which is understandable. I feel really silly reviewing like these baby books, but oh no, they were really, really good. It's something that I can see myself reading to my future children, because I want them to understand that dry humour is hilarious. And lastly, for June, I read Clariel by Garth Nix. Now this is a kind of companion novel to the Old Kingdom series, and it's a prequel. It's set 600 years prior to the events in Sabriel, and we're following a completely new character. So I have quite a lot to say about this. I gave it 3 stars, and I'm thinking of doing a book talk about it, because, you know, I've done a book talk about the other books, so it kind of seems right to just continue and do it with this. But yeah, I did like it. I can definitely say I did like it. It just maybe isn't necessary. I'd say, just for now, until I film this potential video, just for now, I wouldn't say that you had to read it if you've read the other books in the Old Kingdom series. It's not exactly necessary, but by the end it's interesting because of the things that it leads up to, if that makes sense, but it's not necessary. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it there, because I do think I will do a book talk about it. So yeah, I'm really proud with my reading progress that I've done. I'm actually 3 books ahead of my 50 book Goodreads reading challenge, so I'm really happy that I managed to get like 9 books finished, even though some of them were graphic novels, manga, whatever. It still counts, and I'm really happy because I've been reading only like 2, maybe 3 books recently, and I know I can do more, because I'm not exactly a fast reader, but I read a lot at a time. But I guess things have been piling up, been finishing college and stuff like that, so I don't really have time to read so much. But now it's the summer, I've got so many books and so much time. So yeah, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video, and I shall speak to you in another one soon. Bye!